With certain exceptions, new members must pre-file retail communication used in the public media. Help-wanted advertisements, even blind ads, need not be submitted by established members. They are instead subject to spot checks. All member firms are required to file their retail communications regarding security futures at least 10 business days prior to first use. Rule 147 stock cannot be sold to a non-resident of the state for a period of 6 months. Under SEC 10b-18, an issuer purchasing its own securities cannot affect the opening or closing of the security. A safe harbor is available if the issuer is not involved in the first transaction of the day or in any transaction in the last 30 minutes of trading, 10 minutes if the security is actively traded. If the issuer were to purchase its own securities during the last 30 minutes of trading, it may be forced to justify that its purchase did not affect the closing price. If a registered representative receives an order from an issuer at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time, he must advise the issuer that a safe harbor is not available. The representative may then place the order. Prior to delivering securities to satisfy a seller's option contract, the selling dealer must give the buyer a written notice of intent to deliver at least 1 business day prior to making delivery. If a member has a reserve requirement, the deposit must be made within 1 hour of the bank opening on the second business day following computation. A temporary loan cannot be used to satisfy a capital shortage. Temporary subordinated loans are typically used for underwriting commitments. A broker-dealer may not use a temporary subordinated loan if its capital is under 120% of the minimum requirement or if its AI to NC ratio is greater than 10-to-1. All currency transactions involving more than $10,000 are reported to FINRA, and these reports are maintained for 5 years. Normally, SEC rules for records of this type require a 3-year maintenance period. However, the SEC states in Rule 17a-8 that a longer record-keeping requirement by another federal body will supersede the SEC requirement, in this case, the Department of the Treasury. All retail communications relating to options, security futures, single stock futures, and investment companies that include performance rankings created by the investment company or its underwriter must be filed with FINRA at least 10 days before first use. Although the choice of UITs does not specifically point to rankings being the creation of the investment company, retail communication for DPPs must be filed with FINRA within 10 days of first use without any other modifier and is therefore the somewhat better answer. Parsing out closely related answer choices is common on the Series 24 exam. FINRA fees are based on the number of registered representatives and principals associated with a member and the number of branch offices registered with FINRA. Assessments are based on revenue, net of certain costs, from securities transactions. All managers of OSJs and all officers of a member firm must be registered as principals. Not all branch office managers, BOMs, need to be registered as principals. SEC rules require members to notify the SEC and the SRO within 15 business days of termination. The notification must include reasons for the termination and a summary of all disputes the member had with its former accountant within the past 2 years. A statement from the former accounting firm declaring whether the firm agrees or disagrees with the member's interpretation is also included. A foreign internal security, a foreign security, falls under the rules of the country where the security is primarily traded. Securities due from customers to complete sell orders must be bought and promptly after 10 business days from settlement.